Welcome to the Triangle Podcast exclusive video premiere. Today we have, again, two very reactive and weird junior-senior date people.
Weird.
Welcome to the Triangle Podcast exclusive video podcast. Today we're talking about more junior-senior date stories with two people with, I guess, weird junior-senior dates. I don't know, didn't ask, and truly don't care. Today we have a story. My junior-senior date talks like a CEO. You can relate like that, Antonio.
Very mindful.
Okay.
Very demure. Very
intentional. For that, you know who you are.
You know who you are. I'm not sure if the sub is even the right place for this because the story is so weird, but hopefully you guys have some good advice. So for the background, I, 17 female, was asked to junior-senior by Ron, fake name, 17 male.
We know the real name. Be so for real.
Do we know the real name? About 3 weeks ago, he and I have been friends for a few years now. Oh, I was asked to junior-senior by Ron about 3 weeks ago. He and I have been friends for a few years now, so it didn't surprise me. But with the way he's been acting recently, I'm starting to second-guess my decision. So it all kind of started getting weird when he did the promposal. I was expecting the typical, will you go with me to junior-senior question. But instead, he asked, do you have the bandwidth to be intentional about being my junior-senior date? He never used this kind of wording before. But I was too surprised to really think about it until after the fact. The poster was also sort of strange. It read like, I'd like to speak into your junior-senior process.
This is crazy.
Anyway.
Lean in. Let me move toward others. Move towards
Well, let's put a pin in that.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'll circle back.
We can't get rid of all of these now.
Sorry.
There's too many left.
Keep going.
Anyway, this was odd, but I figured he was probably just nervous and wanted to do something unique, so I didn't worry about things too much. Things were going fine again until last Tuesday when we started thinking about the details of attire and flowers. My dress alterer made a pocket square for my extra fabric. So I gave that to him.
Sound like me speaking English.
It does.
Yeah.
I agreed with you.
You're supposed to disagree. My English
and instead
is
of saying thanks, he said, "I'll be mindful to match the color for that." I'm looking forward to deep diving into aligning our synergies. I can't even read this.
1 + 1 = 3. That econ quiz, bro.
I hate that this is right after the econ quiz.
I
know. Again, strange, considering he's never talked like this before. But it wasn't necessarily problematic, and I didn't want to add it to his stress. When I asked him for his half of the money to pay for the corsage and the boutonniere, he apologized that he didn't have the cash on hand, but he said he'd touch base about circling back to close the loop.
we needed like a piece of paper to make like a little bingo.
Which one does he hit?
Since then, I've been asking him to confirm if he can drive himself to our photo location, and he keeps saying things like, I don't have the bandwidth for this conversation, or let's put a pin in it, or we should pivot this conversation. Almost every conversation we have is filled with those same phrases. It's as if he's purposefully putting one in every sentence instead.
Quick question. Are we sure he's not secretly 55?
He owns a firm of some kind.
Yeah,
he is
a
Warren
landscaping
Buffett.
firm.
He is Warren.
Buffett.
He's Rockefeller.
He's like, I got that compound interest on you, baby.
Wait, that was actually good.
I'm investing in you for 50 years.
It's too
Rule
bad.
of 72.
Y'all have already gotten dates. You should have asked a guy like this.
72 rule?
We're gonna. I don't know.
You do not know the rule of 72. You did not get those $20. It's as if he's purposely putting one in every sentence instead of just talking like a normal human. I'm not sure if he's just been watching too much Shark Tank or if some CEO alien is controlling his thoughts from outer space. But I'm starting to worry that the night of junior-senior is going to be filled with his funny phrases. My friend is bringing a guest date as well. And I don't want Ron embarrassing us in front of our whole junior-senior table. Ron, if he's junior-senior table, if he says something like, I'll be mindful of your name during introductions. Any advice on how to confront him about this strange word choice?
Any advice? Girl, I think it's a lost cause. No, I mean, let's be so for real. You know what I mean? I don't think he's gonna change. I don't.
Yeah.
So you either accept it or you drop it. It's one of the two.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Ready to jump
It
ship
is.
real
It is.
fast.
Didn't it say something about like he just started doing it recently?
He just started doing it.
Yeah, that's kind of strange to me because like
It's true.
yeah, maybe,
Or maybe he was hiding it.
oh
like,
yeah, he was
keeping it within.
suppressing.
He was filtering
He was
it.
suppressing the CEO.
He was being mindful.
Ugh.
It was very intentional with his initial conversation.
Okay, we're gonna comments. Comments. This is definitely a red flag. I'd like to speak into your junior senior process as the single least romantic thing I've ever heard in my life.
I
Yes,
agree.
yes,
I agree.
yes.
Yes.
Is he
Yes,
doing
yes.
this for attention, or does he actually think this is gentlemanly and professional? Wait until you're seated at the table and he starts talking about your performance review.
He's gonna have like a full like portfolio.
He has a quarterly report,
Yes, a quarterly
of your like dress, and he's like, I'm just saying, like, I honestly, I really don't like the color. I think it should have been.
What
2
guy that is
shades.
talking like this is gonna do this?
Wow. How do guys?
What? We do not do
Like the
this.
suit, you know?
Yeah, the stew and then
tie,
the.
putting the tie.
I'd
up.
like to
Well,
speak to you about your
I
recent
think-
performance.
Especially with the guest date, he's gonna ask for like their resume. Like before we begin the festivities.
What investments do you
May
have?
I inquire as to seeing your resume and your investments portfolio?
Okay, comment 2. I would definitely be concerned that he is trying to change himself to fit your standards for some reason. The sudden change in
I
vocabulary.
don't think he. Me personally.
Her standards are in the ground. Her standards are
Damn.
under the
True.
floor. They are in
True.
the center of the earth.
Well, hers are better than the girl who went out with.
That's
Marvin.
true. She's better than Marvin's date.
That was something else.
At least, hopefully she doesn't marry him. Instead, the guy, the
Can you
officiant.
imagine like they get married and then their kid, their first word is intentional.
His first word.
He's like meaningful. You know what I mean?
He goes, the bandwidth.
Bandwidth. The sudden change in vocabulary right as you agree to go with him as a date could be a sign he's worried his regular self isn't good enough for you. Oh, how humble.
Oh, how very.
Oh, how very. Oh.
Try having a conversation with him about his new lingo and see where it goes from there. Comment 3. There's a similar story on the sub where the guy ended up having a brain tumor.
Oh.
I believe carbon monoxide poisoning is also known to cause similar odd behavior.
But for like such an extended period of time, because it's not just like one day. It's
Well, like, it's
a
just,
week.
I think it's a sudden shift. Because, like,
It just activated his
You
brain
just- you
tumor.
just-
Personality disorder. I'm telling you, I think it's personality disorder. Like that's what makes sense.
yeah.
Definitely ask him to see a neurologist or check his CO monitor. Carbon dioxide monitor.
CEO monitor.
His
CEO.
CEO! That's what it is!
monitor.
That's
Get
what
it,
it
get
is! I don't think he has the bandwidth to check his monitor.
I still
My
think
goodness.
he's like 55.
Well, like,
You know,
no,
secretly.
but like,
I
what kind
definitely,
of plastic surgery is he getting to look 17?
I mean,
I
It's
definitely.
Warren
It's a
Buffett.
pretty
That's
good
where
one.
his 130
It's
billion's
Warren
going.
It's where all
it's
this goes.
Rockefeller. He's back.
Ugh! He never died!
He never died.
He's back. I think I agree with the intentional change. With the like, he's trying to
Really?
impress her, or he's trying to like be gentlemanly by doing that.
He's like, oh, I have to show off.
Being gentlemanly. For that.
Ma'am, I just want
Like-
to show you, I'm rich. I'm, like, really rich. I even have, like, a rich language. I say synergies.
I say synergies.
I get like being gentlemanly, but like you don't have to change yourself for your guest date.
Mhm.
You know.
And being,
Slam poetry bar.
yeah. And being polite isn't the same thing as being rich. So, like, even if you're like, oh, I don't know if I'm good enough for her, like,
Yeah.
like, the poorest guys out there, if they're, like, polite, respect women, don't do dumb things, like...
to the camera.
Right here. I'm so polite.
I'm
and
already going with someone.
I'm so polite and I'm so poor.
Yeah, if
I'm
any
so-
y'all girls
guys,
need
I'm
if
so
any y'all
poor.
girls need a date, here you go.
He already has the
I
date. We
literally-
all have.
Oh,
That's insane work, right? What you did there. That's
I'm gonna
that's
cut
insane
that.
what
Let
you
me
did there.
let me just clarify. We all have dates.
And only one of us is actually dating.
Yay!
I don't have the bandwidth for this.
I don't have the bandwidth.
I think we need to close the loop.
Guys, I think we need to close the loop on this one.
Wait. There's not an update?
There's no update.
There's no
There's no
update!
No.
No!
The loop is closed.
We're supposed to get
I'm
updates for us.
I'm so sorry!
The loop has been closed.
sorry! You're fine.
The loop is closed.
Well, I guess we can't circle back to it.
We can't
so-
circle back to this.
yeah.
We have to put a pin in this.
No, we
Yeah.
have to take out the pin.
We have to, guys.
Because we
I'm sorry.
can't circle back to
We
it.
have to
gotta
take out
we have to take out
We
the
have to
pin.
take-
Ow! I'm
so,
sorry.
as our story goes,
Alex doesn't have the bandwidth to hold his phone.
I don't have the
He
bandwidth to hold my phone.
But Shin and I are very meaningful in all of our interactions.
We're very
and
intentional women.
Advice
Mhm.
and you know.
we are synergized.
Habibi.
We align.
For junior, senior, I don't know why I'm doing this. Habibi. For
It's always a BB.
Junior,
Habibi.
it is. For junior,
That's a
senior.
font.
If he doesn't
It's a
get
f-
to
it's a
land or
font?
gold, say
Nice.
no, Habibi. He's not worth it. We don't go broke, man. No. That's the moral of the story today.
Yeah.
Stay quackalicious.
Bye.
Bye. Mwah.
Mwah.
Ew.